being a parent is absolutely it. There's nothing that compares, and I love that now because I get to connect with my mom in a different way.
Welcome to Why Not Me? I'm your host, Mike Jackson, and today my guest is Aldis Hodge, and this is my guy. We worked together on a TV series called Underground. You know him probably from Friday Night Lights or many, many, many other roles that he's portrayed. You're going to get ready to see him playing Alex Cross on Amazon. But today, he's a guest on the Why Not Me podcast, and we're going to talk about his journey, his process, and why he does what he does. I hope you really enjoy our conversation. I'm excited to share it with y'all. There he is. How are you, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm excellent. Thank you for doing this. I what did I do? I saw you at the macro party, and I was like,
"Yep, let's get it."
I gave you a hug and a pound. I was like, "You got to do my podcast." So let's jump in.
Let's jump in, man.
All right. Tell me if I got this right. Aldis Alexander Basil Hodge.
Basil. Yeah, Aldis Alexander Basil Hodge, man. It's family. My pop is from St. Thomas, you know. That's most of my family on the side is island. So St. Thomas, St. Croix, Dominican Republic, I got all that on my father's side. Basil is a family name. My grandfather's name Basil. My brother, most of the men on my pop's side, we have Basil worked in there some capacity. Like Ed
so Ed also has it?
Yeah, Edwin Martel Basil Hodge. My dad is Aldis Basil Hodge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And September 20th, 1986. Are you your zodiac sign?
I believe so. I guess I've learned a little bit more about, you know, the astrological moods and all that kind of stuff. And now, you know, I found out it, you know, as I've gotten older, it becomes more of a common thing. Like, you know, back in the day, you hustling, people, oh, okay, cool. You know, who are you? Like, what do you do? Like, what's your job? And now it's like, what's your sign? Like, the fuck? I'm every bit a Virgo, but I'm also learning about, like, I don't know, what's your sun sign, your moon sign? I don't know. It's my wife got all that, man. So, like, she be
That's
talking
mine
me
too.
about that all. Yeah, she be in it. I'm like, all right, well, I guess this is what I am today.
What was it? My son is something crazy. He's like a Cancer. Like he's all Gemini. Like every section. Okay. I guess sometimes they're like, even if you're born and you're a Gemini, like other signs are different things.
Yeah.
My one son is all Gemini.
Yeah.
And that's like not a good thing.
No, I'm learning how to dissipate what I believe to be the negative aspects of my astrological sign, and elaborate on the strengths and try to, like, just be a regular human.
Let's try to lead into the positives. I appreciate that. I'm going to try to do the same.
I love being a Virgo. I love being a Virgo. I'm hyper specific, hyper detailed down to the minutia. This is why, I mean, half of my current professional career is in design and engineering. So I love it. You know, it's cool with me. It just makes you a bit of an outlier and makes you a little socially awkward, but low key, it's a great way to be.
Hey, man, respect. All right. So born not in New York, born in North Carolina, but raised in New York.
Yeah, Jacksonville, man. I was born. Both of my parents were Marines. They met in service. And my brother and I were both born on a base in North Carolina. But after a few years traveling around in service, I think the last stop was Hawaii. We used to live on Oahu, but my brother was telling my mom he wanted to be in a box, which was the TV. And she finally got it. She figured out he wanted to be an actor. So we packed up. We moved to Jersey in New York. You know, no shade to Jersey. I'm New York all day. You can keep Jersey.
Well, being a Philadelphian, you know, I don't have a lot of love for Jersey or the Giants, the New Jersey Giants.
I
right?
put like I got love for people in Jersey. Don't get it twisted.
Some
My
good
people's
humans.
my people's, but I grew up in Trenton, Hackensack, and Clifton. Anybody who ever been to Trenton, yeah, Trenton gets busy. You know what I'm saying?
Trenton makes, what is it? Trenton makes the world takes or something like that? Or
Something
Trenton
like that.
creates the world takes on the bridge?
Something like that. All
Yeah,
I
we
know is,
go.
look, we call Jersey the Garden State. I don't remember seeing a garden once, but Hackensack was all right. Hackensack was all right. Clifton was surprisingly rough. I would say rougher than Trenton in many ways. Now
Mhm.
granted, I love my upbringing. You know, I'm not shying away from that. I think I had a beautiful upbringing because it prepared me for the world. You know, made me very scrappy and got my hustle. But there's just sort of like a vibe and a bop to New York that is unparalleled. And I live many places, but New York is one of my favorite spots
And
to
New York
live
is
just
home
because
now,
the energy. Yeah, New York is
right?
home now, man. Yeah, but you know, I'm a consummate gypsy. I don't know where I'm gonna be tomorrow.
I know that. So your mom's, who I adore,
Yeah, yeah,
she really like, and not to get too personal, but she really like kind of raised y'all, right?
yeah. Mom's is OG, raised in a single parent household. I have one child and an amazing wife. I have no idea how my mom did it with three children, single. And then, you know, all of us are relatively normal human beings with burgeoning careers. So shouts to moms, because I don't care what you do. You could be Navy SEAL, you could be whatever. Ain't no job harder than being a parent. Ain't no
Dude, say
job.
less.
Yeah. It's equally terrifying as it is exciting. And it's the best part of my life. Being a parent is absolutely it. There's nothing that compares. And I love that now because I get to connect with my mom in a different way. You know, you grow
Absolutely.
up looking at your parents kind of like deities, superheroes or something like that. Like ain't no chinks in the armor. But then as you get older, you start to understand your individuality, your humanity as an adult, and you start to see the humanity in your parents.
Mm-hmm.
And you realize, you know, they are vulnerable, they're fragile, they have needs. It's different from the perspective of a child's eyes versus an adult's. And then when you become a parent, you get to appreciate all the mess that you put them through in a whole different way. Cause I know me, I was a handful. I was quiet, which is what made me scary because I was just a science nerd, but I was just into shit for
Yep.
no reason. I'm
I
doing
see that now with
science
you.
experiments and, you know, and I was probably a lot to keep up with, man. But mom's is OG. And yeah, I mean, yeah, she's everything, man. She's everything. So
Yolette, tell me about her discipline being a Marine,
mm,
you and Edwin like wanting to pursue this crazy dream of acting,
yeah,
going into auditions. I remember reading something like you would go on auditions that were clearly for white folk, but y'all
yeah.
would still go through the room. Like, is she the backbone of all of you? Her resolve, her discipline, her tenacity? Because I see y'all, and I've said this to you before, like, y'all and like the Smollets, like, y'all's cliques are so tight
Mm-hmm.
and how
Yeah.
y'all roll with family.
Cause that's
What
it.
was her influence on your career? Younger, like your younger years in particular, and your hustle.
I think the influence she had on my career is something I'm starting to get in front of and take control of now. And what I mean is, she was the leader for a lot of it, and you know, taking risks, being able to be unafraid in situations where I was afraid. You know, unafraid to say no, unafraid to walk away, unafraid to really engage my own value because she believed in me so vehemently, and my brother and my sister. But I'm at a place now in my life personally, which translates to my career, where I engage my own value more. So I'm not afraid. You put a job on the table. I don't care what kind of check it's looking like, because I know what I want for me. I'm not going to put the value of that above what I believe in for myself. But that's just, you know, repetition through years of seeing it happen. Mom is definitely the backbone of everything because she had to break a lot of cycles. We ain't got to get into that, but you know, she didn't have the greatest upbringing, which makes her even that much greater as a parent because she survived a lot. She made hard choices to not repeat what she went through or what she saw. And when it came to us, she just wanted to be a great, great parent and give us a start. Everything we went through, I'm going to tell you, as a child actor, the priority was always education.
Mm-hmm.
The privilege was acting, meaning if we didn't come home with A's and B's, if we weren't doing what we needed to do, there was going to be no audition. She prioritized us having a childhood and being children. When you're in the business at a young age, there are a lot of things that people will do to destroy your childhood, to pick it apart. There are things that people succumb to where we see the effects much later. We know a lot of people who were child stars who couldn't manage or maintain emotionally or mentally as they transitioned into adulthood because of all of the atrocities that happened to them in their youth. My brother and I, thankfully for moms, were saved from that. Now, granted, she went through a lot, telling people no, or she's the kind of person that'll run up in the office and be like, look, you ain't doing this to my baby because yada, 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 yada. So
I believe it.
Yeah. I think without knowing it, she was playing the long game and it was more prioritized. The focus was always on our personal and mental health. Because again, it's a lot of stuff that gets down. I mean, we start to see it now, a lot of results from people telling their stories, horrible things that they went through. Thankfully, my brother, my sister, and I, we were saved from that. So, for her, it was tough. It was hard. There was a lot of doors that were closed. We had to go on auditions that weren't meant for us because we had to kick in the door. My mom was not one to succumb and play the game. She was like, look, this is what we're here for, but we're not here for the, pardon my language, we're not here for the bullshit. But yeah, she was always a natural protector. She gave us strength. And as a Marine, she raised us up with that discipline. Now, granted, due to situations, we were raised in survivor mode. In the family, we always had love, but we was always on the lookout. Life was rough,
Can you talk about that for a second? Are you comfortable talking about some of that? I know what it is, and it's very inspiring to me. Respectfully, we don't have to, but I think about that part of your life and what you've survived and where you are. Are you able to or comfortable to talk a little bit about that struggle?
We're going to skip a good bit of it just because it's not just my story to tell, it's other people's stories. So I gotta figure out where they at with it. But my family, we went through a lot. There's a lot of, my mom protected us from a lot of bad people that were trying to be around us, and she canceled that real quick. Many people know that, we used to be homeless, things like that. Which honestly, the depths of what life was for us and primarily for my mother, being homeless is like, that's the tip of the iceberg. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's tip of the iceberg, but I can't imagine that fear. I think about what strength must it have taken for her to pull through that and actually get us to where we are today. Not even just in our careers, but just to survive. What must she have thought? What, I don't know, source of faith or energy or whatever, or belief did she pull from to go from us bopping around on the streets or living in the car to even getting into a home, to move, making sure we had good credit as we got older, making sure that, all these things, setting us up for life, man. So, but my mom, she is truly the embodiment of what strength is to me. She's a true survivor. The toughest thing I think is the fact that I don't think my mom is able to see her value the way that everybody else around her sees her value. You know what I mean? Because, she's still hustling and she's like, damn, if I'd have done this different, in life, we all have those thoughts about what if I would have done this, da, da, da. But I'm like, look, we are actively pursuing and living in our dreams. That's it.
Were you pursuing, because you started acting at 3, you were on Sesame Street for a couple of years, right?
Sesame Street, man.
That must have been a fucking trip. Looking back on it.
Sesame Street was cool. It was fun because, you go to work, which is kind of like just going to the park or something like that. But the cats at the job it's literally Snuffleupagus and Big Bird and the Grouch, and you see this on a regular basis. You see how it's getting down, and your imagination kind of it opens up, it runs wild, man. But it was really an awesome environment to be in, especially as a kid. Plus, Sesame Street is a staple.
So cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
So my
By
brother
the way,
and
Max
I,
Robinson,
yeah.
Philadelphia guy. Just had to give him that shout out.
Oh,
real quick. Just had to shout out Philly.
Just shout out Philly.
You know how we do it.
Just Philly. Just gonna put that out there.
That's what we do. Yeah. That's why we hate Jersey.
Look, I ain't saying I hate Jersey. I'm just saying I don't want to go back to Jersey. There are apparently beautiful parts of Jersey I have never seen. And
yeah, people are still looking for them. No, I'm playing. There's some beautiful parts of Jersey. And I spent a lot of time at the Jersey Shore. So
yeah, again, I got a lot of, as far as the people, from Jersey, I got a lot of great people from Jersey. It's just it was an interesting upbringing there. But the folks in Jersey, man, I got people still back there. So shout out look, I'm not hating on Jersey. I just don't want to live there no more because I had a very different experience than you may have had.
My buddy's shooting a movie there right now. This Bob Dylan movie. And I'm like, so you're staying in New York and commuting, right, to Jersey? He's like, no. I'm living in Jersey. I was like, yeah, God bless you. God bless you.
Apparently, I got plot to say, apparently it really it's like real nice.
It's kind of popping. That's
and it's gotten better, a lot better over time. And I would never know because I'm good.
I drive through it to get to New York.
Hey, but apparently Jersey is a lot more affordable than New York, man. New York is crazy.
New York is crazy. New York and LA are like, that's why I moved to Austin. Not for that reason, but once I got there, I realized, oh shit, LA's expensive. I didn't even know how expensive LA was till I left.
LA is crazy too. Yes.
LA and New York, it's all crazy. So, the podcast is called Why Not Me?
Why not me?
And the idea is like, why not me? Like, there's many moments in life, no matter what you're doing professionally, where you want to level up or you want to make that pivot, or you see someone else doing this thing, and you're like, well, why not me? And then it's about cause and action, right? And like, what's the thing that triggers you to pivot?
Yeah.
So for you, commercials and stuff at 3, Sesame Street for a couple of years with Edwin, and you're building a basis of a career, but like, you had to have like your first real big break. And I'm wondering, did that happen in your teenage years? Like there was a gap of time before you're like, all right.
So through my years, I have gone through bouts of losing hope and losing faith and belief. And what it was is not that I lost hope. What I realize now is that my belief system changed. Your eyes open to what's real, and then you adjust and adapt to that. As far as the why not me, obviously you've said it many times. Many actors say that, but over the years, I started realizing you have to assign a purpose to your pain. That's what I tell everybody. It's something that's going to happen that there's a value to it and there's a reason. I hope this is not insensitive, but I remember when I was 12 and I had booked a pilot that was on Nickelodeon. And
you're probably lucky. If you didn't get it, you're probably lucky.
So this is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Booked the pilot. Now we shot the pilot. The show got picked up, right? And I've told this story before. It's not to pull on any sympathy strings because I'm good, but it's just to give other actors out there perspective on what might be protecting them. So we booked the pilot, shot it. They test the pilot, around it just to see how the show does before picking it up. That's the process for people that don't know, just to see if it's going to do well.
Sure.
To my knowledge, my character, along with other characters, tested a little high in popularity, and they didn't want us to be a distraction or outshine from their biased agenda. So, they fired us because they didn't want us to outshine or whatever. It didn't make sense to me. I'm 12. I'm thinking this is it. Finally going to be on a TV show. Nickelodeon as a kid was like
huge,
the thing.
The shit.
And that's where you wanted to be. And I didn't understand being fired for doing my job well. When I realized in hindsight, of course, looking back and, as we see now with there's the documentary going on. Yeah, I did not need to be there. I was being protected because there's a different journey, a different story for me. And you got to lean into what's meant for you. So anything that happens that you feel like is a grievance or maybe not in your favor when it comes to your path, understand that there's a few things you gotta think about. Maybe something, if you get the opportunity that you're not prepared for, you're gonna ruin your own success or you're gonna ruin yourself. So you gotta take that into account. Maybe you need to prepare yourself more, fortify your mind more. You running through Hollywood thinking, I need to get to this person, this person, this person. You don't need none of that. You just need to get to yourself. Once you understand your value and walk in that, once you understand what your real price is, which ultimately should be priceless. Once you hold yourself, that means you can't be sold, you can't be bought, you can't be used. And it takes a long time for people to get to that place. Sometimes people never get to that place of understanding. Like I'm getting up. I'm almost in my 40s and just getting to a place where getting to a place where I'm really solidified in really loving myself and who I am and understanding what I bring to the table.
And I've seen your growth, but I've seen you growing as a man and as a person. So,
well, a part of that pathway is, first of all, being an actor, you're getting into an industry that tells you everything about you that makes you perfect is imperfect and wrong, right? Everything, oh, that scar there, boom. Oh, your color. That I used to be 8, 9 years old going on auditions, people telling me, oh, you're too dark. I would come home crying. My mom would be like, don't worry, baby. One of these days, they're going to love you for your chocolate skin, right? People have twisted ideas of culture. Cultural negligence is what I say. And I've said this story many times, but, I would go on auditions where people would tell me, oh, because you're educated and articulate, you're not black enough. And I'm like, what? I always knew the value of black people and black culture. I'm like, we are a part of the written script, the definitive nature of elegance and academia and brilliance and beauty and art. Like we are a part of that. So you're going to tell me that that's you being stupid that you don't know that this is what black is.
Yeah.
And then once you go through that for so many years, you get into a mindset where you feel like you got to prove yourself. And then you have to work yourself out of that very state of mind to realize you ain't got to prove nothing to nobody but yourself. Case in point for auditions. And I talk a lot, as you see.
I've talked to you before.
But I feel like I'm talking not only to actors, but anybody in any professional space. I'm not there to prove nothing to you. I'm not trying to impress nobody. I'm trying to figure out how my positioning here works into the pathway of my bigger picture. How do you service me? It doesn't matter if you're the owner of the restaurant or if you're out there busting dishes. How does this serve me and my pathway getting to where I need to be? There was a point where I hated going on auditions because it felt like a moot point. Nothing was producing, wasn't popping, wasn't getting what I wanted. Somebody who put me on tape all the time for auditions one day hit me and was like, yo, you don't love this anymore. And I said, no, I don't. I really don't. I hate this process. And look, being an actor, half of your job is auditions. That's the work. Do the work. But there's no love and passion in it because there's so much deprivation, ingratitude, all these things attached to walking out of it and feeling like nothing. But I realized I'm not going in there to audition to get the job. I'm going there to audition to train, practice, and impress myself. So it doesn't matter if you call me or not. Once I took that control and I made the value my value, and I said, I'm here. What am I getting out of this for me? No, forget the job. We're not there yet. We could talk about that later. But I want to craft a performance that is so superlative that it goes beyond what I've known before. That's what I'm doing here. So
and you're growing your equity in yourself, right? Like you're more equitable every time you walk out of that room because you've perfected to the best of your ability that performance that enhanced your craft.
That's what it is. I'm looking at the minutia, the details. What areas do I need to turn up and really focus on to perfect every single time? Once I did that, my approach and my confidence in myself, my love for the space changed completely. Your energy changes, and that's very important. It's not even, there's a confidence, yes, but it's not even so much about going in there feeling confident, I can do this, yes. It's not necessarily that so much. I understand this has a place, it goes this far. And I understand the relationship here. This relationship dips as soon as I, walk out of this room. I have other important things to do. So, that's just what it is. I'm not carrying it all day. That means I'm not carrying that negative energy all day. And I'm free. And everything right now in my life is about freedom, mental freedom from societal norms, normatives that are actually suppressive and oppressive. Personal things I put on myself. When people talk about getting into this game as an actor, I'm like, if you want to be famous or get rich, go do something else. Don't waste your time with nobody else's. If you're trying to contribute something to the craft of entertainment, of acting, whatever it is you're trying to do, if you're trying to contribute something, put it out there. And I've said this before plenty of times because I really believe in this and I walk with this daily. That's where you're going to figure out who you are. That's where you're going to strengthen your relationship with you. And then you're going to figure out, oh, this is what I want to do, and go do it.
Well, you know what, Al? I think that's worked for you. Friday Night Lights, Leverage with our boy Christian Kane.
Hey, hold on. I'm going to tell you about Friday Night Lights real quick, though.
Talk to me. How my favorite shows ever, by the way.
Here's how negativity works in your favor. So before the audition for Friday Night Lights came through, I was attached to another job that, again, I got fired from, which I seemingly didn't understand the firing because I was never unprofessional, never none of that. But there was a lot of cooks in the kitchen. Show got picked up. New producers came in. Hey, we want to go a different direction. All right, cool. I was pissed. I was too. Like 19 because I didn't find out from the producers or the network first. The actor who actually
Don't say it. Don't say it.
He hit me. And much respect to him for this because we was cool. We still good. But he hit me and he was like, yo, my man, I got this audition for the show. Oh, cool. Why am I auditioning for your role? I don't know. Why are you? That's how I found out.
Damn.
That's how I found out. And then after that, the producers and all that, and I'm just like, yo, this is.
Wait, did you like receive that information and sit on it, or did you react immediately and start making calls? Like,
straight up make calls to the team, like, yo, what's going on? And then that's when we had to call them, and then we had to press them, and then they told us what's going on. But I was like, just in the space of, I'm an executive producer now. I don't care what the situation is. Respect people, treat your people well, all the way down to the bottom line.
Absolutely.
So that
got you Friday Night Lights, right? That freed you up for
exactly. And so Friday Night Lights came through. The character I was playing felt displaced, disheveled, and he was angry. He felt used. I went in that audition angry as hell. Not angry at the producers in the room. My energy was like, fuck it. Fuck everything. Man, fuck this, fuck that. What? Fuck it. And went in there, snatched up the job. Friday Night Lights was one of the best projects I could have been on. Quality. Right after that, I got a series regular on a show called Leverage, which I realized, and this is what I tell people all the time, that was God moving something out of my way so the right thing could be right in my path. I could walk straight to it. So sometimes getting things taken away is a blessing. I done gave you 2 examples of it. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing.
And I hope people pay attention to that lesson because we often wallow, which is okay initially to kind of feel that hit, that gut punch. But then it's like, all right,
hey, look,
let's keep it fucking moving.
When I lost that job, I think one of the first things I did, probably even before calling the team, I walked out the house, I took a jog to run off some of the energy. But I remember standing on the corner, looking up at the sky, middle of the day, and I was heated. Me and God was going at it. Bro, what the fuck? Bro, like, yo, just like, I gotta pay this bill. I just got in a car accident. I needed to afford a new car. I couldn't afford a new car.
Life keeps happening, Al. Life keeps happening.
Like, what is going on? But that is the thing is you have 2 options in the face of adversity. You can sit there and waste your time and energy on what just happened that's already passed, it's already moved on. You can stay there stuck with it, or you can focus on the opportunity that lays in front of you, which is an open door to walk to the next thing, to create the next thing, to build the next thing. Get your focus up. Take a minute, take your head. Cool. I'm going to give you about a cool, smooth 30 minutes to an hour. That's it. After that, we back on the horse. I might not even give you that much. Mm-hmm. Being where I'm at right now mentally, I'm probably just going to be like, all right, cool. Well, let me think, what is the purpose of that happening? Let me go pay attention to what the opportunity is I need to go snatch, because there's something I don't see right now, but now I got this free time. It doesn't, dilute any of my personal value or my skill or talent, but I got this free time. So where am I supposed to now place my energy that I'm freed up? You know what I mean? Yeah. Refocus.
Well, look at Leverage.
Yeah.
Underground. City on a Hill.
Yeah, City on a Hill was a good run. Shout to Kevin Bacon, by the way. Kevin Bacon, brother, is salt of the earth. For the magnitude of his career and who he is, he couldn't be a more humble person. And I really appreciated working with Kev. He's A+.
He's another Philly guy. I'm just pointing that out.
Hey, okay. All right.
The 215s everywhere. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna let you know right now. I got his number. It's not 215 anymore. So,
are you serious? Don't tell me it's an LA area code and we'll be all right. We'll be all right. As long as if you can keep it in New York, you can still keep it East Coast.
Yeah.
But dude, your career is like now, I mean, A-list, like your projects are the best projects people could, they're dream projects. I remember when you got Black Adam.
Yeah.
Working with The Rock. He's a big old movie star.
Yeah.
Look, I think you stole the movie, your performance. I think I'm biased because you're my guy, but
no, I appreciate it. The whole team put it down, but I thank you. I appreciate you.
I think you did it. Talk to me about working with The Rock.
Yeah.
And just the experience of being in that huge of a movie.
Well, I'll tell you like this: for anybody that gets in anything, it's tutelage. It's stewardship and you're learning. You cannot be a leader without being of service. You cannot be a teacher without also simultaneously being a student. So with that, I took it as the grandest opportunity to learn, because I'm like, all right, I'm around this man, I'm around his team. They've got pools of experience and not just DJ, but like, so everybody at $7, shout to Hiram. Everybody at Flynn Pictures, that's Bo Flynn, Scott Sheldon, like all the cats that were on the ground, the producers, our director, Jama. I just was like, all right, what am I here to learn? Because most of the times you get in a situation like that and people are like, oh my God, you're so lucky to be working, You're so lucky. You're not lucky at all. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. And I tell people, if you are in the same room with somebody, you are of the same caliber of somebody. It doesn't matter what your accomplishments or your merits or your money looks like. So if I'm around these kinds of people, obviously I'm of the same caliber. I need to know that and step up to it and do the same kind of work. I need to hustle how they hustle. So I'm just sitting here to soak it up and learn. I was not playing around with that opportunity to learn, because
by the way, that whole process, you're literally living through excruciating physical pain with your back.
Yeah. So I had some back issues. I thought, look, I'm gonna put it like this, man. Everybody's like, ooh, action movies. Oh, it looks fun. Great. Oh man. Yeah, it's not that hard. It's hard as hell. You have to train like an athlete, live like an athlete, and work like an athlete throughout the duration of however many months. I'm in the lines doing wire work. My body is contorted in different ways and it's unnatural. So your body's taking pressures that it's really not used to. And that's where you learn a lot about your physical capabilities or the lack thereof. You think you hot stuff and then you fuck around and find out.
But remember, I was going through back pain too.
Yeah.
And we talked about it a few times and I was like, bruh, like I can't even fucking like take the trash out right now. Yeah. And you're like fucking hanging in the air, like just doing crazy shit. I remember
because we were both going through that herniated discs. There were times I couldn't even walk. I had to crawl out the car. But you know, again, it teaches you a lot, but you go through so much. It's not only, honestly, it's not only the mental, I mean, the physical, there's the mental of it all where you're doing this big thing and there's so much going on that you really got to focus on trying to do something well, make it work. And again, real quick, shout to the cast because I love everybody on that cast. First of all, Pierce Brosnan, my God, like, bro,
OG.
That's who I want to be when I, you know, so when I get on, I want to be pissed. Shout to Quintessa. That's my little homie. Shout to Noah. Man, Sarah, Mo, everybody, like our entire cast, little Cat Bodie, like everybody was good energy. So we had a really great time. But it was a great experience. There was a lot of adversity. People think that it's just fun and happy all the time, but you got to battle so many outside elements or really just lock it out in order to focus and do what you got to do. So, you know, the work that you have to do, the preparation for what you deem to be success, whether you think that's professional, financial, experiential, whatever it is, understand that when you get in these situations, you're going to have to fight. Mm-hmm. People think it's easy. It gets harder. It gets tougher. But your mind has to get tougher to step up to the plate. So, yeah, mentally, I had a fight to make sure I was doing what I needed to do, be the best that I could be, step in the areas I need to step in and really show up because this was a lot of responsibility.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's a beautiful time.
I imagine all of the stuff we've talked about and all of the like things that have shaped you and formed you led you to another really huge why not me moment in your life. And that is launching your family production company with Edwin and becoming a producer and a writer.
Yeah.
Tell me about Parallel. I know a little bit about Parallel because, you know, we talked about it a lot in its early stages. I'll beat myself again later.
It was an education. Parallel was, honestly, it was great. I mean, you know, for us, the first time, it was brought to us by a friend of ours, Jay Lamore, and his team over at Rumble Riot, and they acquired the rights to this project. It was an adaptation of a Chinese film called Parallel Forest, and we saw the film. It was really awesome. It's great, blew our minds. But they approached us to act in it. As you know, my brother and I are both starring in it first, and a couple passes at the script that we saw, we were like, we kind of want to, like, it's going away from the thing that we loved in the original movie. We kind of want to push it back there. So we asked them, like, you know, we would like to hop on to write and produce. We want to rewrite the script, adapt it, and then produce. And they were like, yeah, let's go. So my brother and I got in the lab. There was another writer on, John Kesey. And, you know, we all brainstormed and got at it. My brother, Edwin, I mean, he was vicious. Like, and I say that in a good way. He really did the bulk of the work on writing and really pushing that ball up the mountain. And, it was just look, we hit every difficulty that you could hit in a grand way when making a film. Thank God we did it on this scale as an independent, low budget. But it'll show you that experience making a film, completing a film. I don't care how good or bad it is. Completing a film, that's feat.
That's the win. That's the win.
We got very lucky in the fact that we had a superstar as our lead, Danielle Deadweiler, and she is just one of the most beautiful souls ever. So we were really in a sort of a fortuitous position with her because of how gracious she was. Mm-hmm. But man, it was a tough spiel. And, you know, the family company is my brother, my mom, we all up on it. Even my sister's in the company. But,
your sister's in it too?
Yeah, she obviously in the emails and all that.
She's way too smart to be in our business.
She be handling administrative. But, yeah, man, like it is a family effort for sure. And the thing I loved about it is I take lessons for, all right, this is how I'm going to do the next one. This is what I will do. This is what I won't do. This is what I'm going to look out for. But it was a brilliant experience. And, you know, so far, you know, the people who have seen it, we've gotten some nice reviews, which I'm happy about. But it is the most terrifying thing to be in that position. As an actor, that's one thing. But as a writer or a producer, you really got to stick your name behind something. You be 10 toes down.
And you're building that shit. So it's like, it's really about you at that point.
Yeah, and the most anxiety I ever felt in my career was right before that film came out. Cause I was like, ooh, no, what's going to happen?
You can't
Because
hide from it. You can't hide from it. I know
no,
you're shooting today. So I want to take advantage of the time we have left. I'm
oh
going to
yeah,
ask you one other question, and then I have a few other questions, but one more like about
yeah,
you, and then we're going to get some fun stuff.
yeah,
When we first became friends, it's like pre-underground, but I remember you came to my house up in Laurel Canyon one day, and we were
yeah.
kicking it, and you had your pad with you,
Yep.
and you were sketching watches.
Still doing it.
Tell me real quick about your passion for watches. You design like this watch. It's like, is it $1 million watch or $500,000 watch or some shit like that? Like, what the fuck?
I have designed models that would be in that price point because they're not hard to design, honestly, because all it takes is a little ingenuity and creativity. They're hard to make. I'm developing a piece that I've been developing for the past 4 years. And typically when you design a watch from scratch, movement and all that kind of stuff, you're looking at about 3 to 5 years worth of development. So we're on track, but my ambition says we're behind. We are literally at the finish line. I got a few things to finish before we launch, but it satisfies the passion within me creatively because as a kid, I was, in an environment that was telling me to be less than my potential. So I wanted to always be a scientist or an engineer or something like that. I wanted to be a biochemist, but I just wanted to be something that I felt represented my natural interests because I had a natural proclivity for sciences, but also something that represented what I felt was the truth of my culture. And with that, it's just something that I was in school for architecture at first, and then I switched to watchmaking. But it's just something that satisfies me in a way creatively that I can't really explain. And my ambition is really, again, to contribute something to the world of horology that stands as a reputable lesson that people can build from. But it just satisfies the creative aspects. It fulfills me in terms of what I'm trying to represent in the world of design and engineering, because design is my whole life. It's my makeup. I even right now co-own a conceptual design company, a studio with two of my partners, Michael Wandy and Phil Boutte Jr.
Is that the thing I saw where I had the goggles and I was like,
you might have been, wait, were you
looking
talking
through
about
like the virtual reality
VR?
thing? Is that a part of it? No, it's
so
different.
That's a whole different thing.
Nigga, you got so much shit going on, bro.
What people will learn about me, man, I'm into everything. I'm building, I'm on the tech side of things, charity side of things, VR, still building VR, but no, 9B, we're a conceptual art studio. We do conceptual art. Like, we'll design, characters for animation, for keyframes, props, cars, vehicles, that kind of stuff. We work in that space and we work with artists across the board all over the world. So I love creating. Design is my language more so than human interaction and engagement. I experience the world through design and through art. That's how that is what I know. So, and it's what makes me feel comfortable. And also it's the thing that makes me feel safe. Right. So it's always going to be there in some capacity, but yeah, the watch is still cooking, man. I can't wait to one day be like, it's finally here. I'm
going to wear one.
Prototypes.
I wear an Apple phone watch right now. I need to step my game up. So we got to change it. That.
Yeah.
Yo, let's have a little fun with some fun questions, Al.
Let's get it.
Your biggest Hollywood crush?
Honestly, the only person I'm crushing on is my wife. Done.
As a married man, and I hope this isn't too personal, but I take a little credit for introducing you to your wife. You're welcome. You're welcome.
We can show that credit. Yeah.
My wife will really take the credit, but I'm going to glom onto Rachel and
Yeah, exactly.
Best pickup line ever used on you? It didn't have to work, but still just like, wow, that was a good one.
This was, I don't know, over 10 years ago, but I was at I wouldn't say it's the best pickup line. I just I didn't know how to take it. There was this elderly Irish woman at a convention.
Elderly, like 80? Like, what are we talking about? And be careful, I'm 52.
Exactly. We're not going to get into the specifics of that.
Slightly older.
Okay. All right. She was up there. But she said my voice sounded like melted chocolate. And I was just like,
I wonder what melted chocolate sounds like, but we'll take it.
I was like, is Granny Lucky Charms trying to get the draws? What's happening?
So how was she?
Hell no, bro. Hell no.
You were like, I don't know what it sounds like, but it melts in your mouth, not in your hands. Something like, no?
Thing is, I'm so socially awkward, and I don't take compliments well. I ain't know what to do. It's just I probably said something weird and just walked away. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm weird in those situations.
You
so
are a little socially awkward, Aldis. Like you can fill a room,
Totally.
your presence is felt, but you're definitely not like, and you're a great conversationalist, but like, I've seen you in rooms before and I was like, he wants to get the fuck out of here right now. Like he does not want to be here.
I like to be home. I'm a nerd. I'm a science nerd. I want to go home and watch anime and design characters and watches and stuff all day. I'm a huge anime head. I have no qualms about that. I want to watch kung fu movies. I want to get back to training and fighting. Like fighting is my happy place, my sport, even though I'm a little lazy now. But yeah, I'm a nerd, man. Through and through. I'm just a nerd.
I know. No more anime. We're going to talk about more cool shit.
Right.
All right.
Anime's awesome. How dare you?
Music. Music. We all love music. Are you a playlist guy? If so, like, what's your go-to playlist? Or are you just like, what's your favorite artist you're listening to right now? Like, talk to me about that real quick.
I mean, see, what are my playlist names? Because I got like, let me see. I got Vibes. I got Bahama Mama, which is on my reggae. I got Pirates. I got Ratchet Shit. That's
okay. So let's get to Ratchet Shit. Like, who are some of the artists on the Ratchet Shit?
I can't even say if it's like ratchet, but like, you know, I mean, I started that years ago. So back in the day, like with Wayne and all that kind of stuff, I'm still big Lil Wayne fan. You know what? I'm a big Busta Rhymes fan. And I just met him recently. He's actually a really dope person. But I grew up on like Busta and Drag On and Twista because they were just da-da-da-da-da. I mean, these cats were spitting fire. DMX, I wish he was still here today because that's a legend. That motherfucker, he's a monster. You know what? Toby Nwigwe is dope.
Yeah. I met Busta, by the way. I just met him. And like, you know, we produced this show called Rhythm and Flow for Netflix. And he is one of our guest judges this season. And I'm a huge fan, but I also don't fan out. So I just kind of was like, yo, nice to meet you. Boom, boom. I think he thought I was a PA for some reason or something, not as like the executive producer of the show. Yeah. And he was like, do you know where I can get ice and water? And I went and got him ice and water and brought it back to his trailer. The executive producer of the show. If you could be alive at any time period, what time period would it be and how old would you want to be during that time?
I would want to be alive anywhere in any country in Africa. I would say, I can't specify the years, but I would say like at least 100 years before colonization, before, you know, the invasion of the Portuguese, the French, the Roman Catholics, I want to see what that looks like. Or right now, I'm pretty good right now, but anytime squeezed in between, I'm straight.
All right. What's your favorite curse word? And use it.
There's a lot of them. I like them all. Fuck.
Which one?
Fuck.
I got to tell you, bro.
Fuck out of here.
I ask this question to everyone. It's fuck.
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 I have probably said it one too many times in my life, but it has been used justifiably. I will say.
Oh yeah, and it has so many purposes. When your end is here, and you transition out of this place, what would you like your tombstone to read?
Honestly, great father, great husband, great family man. Enough said.
That really does encapsulate who you are, man. Like seeing you on this journey you're on, seeing you as a dad and a husband, and I know those are your priorities now.
Well, under that though, it can also say in small caps, all the haters kiss my happy black ass.
Say it again.
All the haters kiss my happy black ass. Done it. Nah. But yeah, really just, man, I want to just, if you know, when I check out, I just want my family to be proud of me. I want my daughter to be like, yo, and hopefully if I have more kids, I want more kids. You know, I want them to be like, yo, my dad was a fucking G. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you can't tell me nothing because my father got me all the way together and I'm the shit. Like, what you gonna do? My dad was a rock star. Not because of the job.
You ever see those memes out where it's like the father doing stuff with his little girl, like taking him on trips or just doing really dope shit?
Yo,
and then
that's my shit though, bro. That's
right?
my shit. Even though I will never fly with my daughter until she gets a little older because she's crazy. She be out
Dude, flying
here
with
trying
kids
to have
is too
us.
much.
Bro, she be knocking on the captain's door like, hey, I'm like, yo, you gonna get us arrested? Stop, please. You know, but bro, like them daddy-daughter time, bruh,
Can't wait.
Ooh, that's my shit,
Can't
bro.
wait.
That's my little homie, bro.
Yo.
Hey.
All right. So we got J. Cole, we got Kendrick, and we got Drake. One of them's got to go.
Drake.
Why?
No shade. I think Drake is a hell of a businessman, obviously a superstar magnate. I think Drake will be fine transitioning into other places. But I think in terms of the flow, haven't heard from Kendrick in a minute, so I kind of want to see what he's been working on. And then with J. Cole, I feel like we see a steady graduation of the craft pushing up in different areas lyrically. So I want to see where that continues to go. You know, I think Drake is a master at playing in the current space, right? And he has transitioned. And this is, again, no shade in any capacity. We've seen the transitions with him, but I think he's a master of playing the space like the current times for the current now. And my mind is always focused on, all right, where is the next 5 to 10 years looking and who's hitting it? Like, what does an evolution look like? And I think that J. Cole and Kendrick could push to that evolution in a way that is probably a bit more interesting to me right now where I'm at in my life than Drake.
I buy that. I mean, Drake is like, respectfully, Drake commercially is probably the most successful out of all three.
Commercially, yeah.
You know, so he's got his flowers. Yeah.
He's a monster commercial. I'm like, how in the hell? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, bro, come teach me. Let me learn a little game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I got no shade there. But yeah. So that's why
Cole and Kendrick lyrically.
Yeah.
It's a whole saying to your point.
Yeah.
Well, my guy, listen, I know you got to get to work. I'm not going to keep you anymore, but you're one of my favorite people. Thank you.
Nice, brother.
And
I appreciate you.
I'll talk to you soon, bro.
Indeed, man. I appreciate you.
Peace.
Thank you.